What's up, everybody? Welcome to the first Honkytonk Tuesday of 2021. We survived 2020. What a hell of a year. Still on the other side of it, but you know what? We're back. Sorry, we're a little late. Had a little bit of some technical difficulties because, you know what? Why wouldn't we? It's snowing in Texas. Everything's weird right now. A little technical difficulty just humbles you up a little bit. But I am beyond excited to have my buddy Collin Raye on here. Been a massive fan of him my entire life. I got to share the story with him. He saved a Mother's Day for me one year, a long time ago, with his record and me buying it for my mama. But I just want to say hey to everybody coming in. We have people in Iowa. What's up, Mary? New Hampshire, South Texas. Hope everybody's good in Texas. Our thoughts are with all you guys. I was talking to a friend of mine today, and seems like y'all are coming out on the other side of it, but I know it's been really hard. So, Massachusetts, happy birthday, Michael. Not yet, but a couple months. I got one announcement. My first band show in almost a year live is going to be this Sunday at Farron Park in Eustis, Florida. Free show, George Fest. At the band shell, first show with my band is going to be back in my hometown. So anybody watching, y'all come on down. We're going to have a time, man. I cannot wait to be back on stage with the guys. I also can't wait just to see my town. I can't see my town, so I can't wait to play music there. And the fact that we get to kick off this year back in my hometown where it all started, right down the road from the bars I grew up playing and all the things that got me ready to move to Nashville, all the people that got me ready to move to Nashville. We're going to be right in the heart of it. So this Sunday, it's a free show. George Fest. All my 352 people know. All of us went to that parade for years. But North Kakalaki. Jamie, awesome. I'll see you there. Well, I was going to play a cover, but then I thought with this show coming up, I would like to play a song that y'all haven't heard yet, and one that I wrote about my hometown and the fact that you don't know about yourself. You don't know about who you are a lot until you start traveling a lot. And thanks to you guys, we've been able to travel around the world. We've played our music in Australia, Europe, all over Europe, all over the United States. And it's just been an incredible journey. But one of the greatest things that I've got to do is talk about where I'm from in my hometown during this. And my buddy Taylor Phillips and my buddy Ashley Gorley, we wrote this song thinking about the fact that you don't know what you are until you start traveling. And then you see other places and other cultures and other things. You go, okay, man, this is me. And I'm proud to be from the country. I'm proud to be from Eustis, Florida. And also, you know, me singing 90s songs when you have a voice like Collin Raye about to come up here, I'm just going to stick to mine, and I'm going to let the man do what the man does naturally, and that's crush some incredible country songs. Y'all are in for a treat today, y'all. I'm telling you, this is going to be one of my top shows. I love Collin, and like I said, I've always been a big fan. So I'm going to play y'all this brand new song. The song's called Didn't Know I Was Country. Thought it was all in my head. I thought all dirt was red. Yes, sir, yes, ma'am. Something everyone said. Drove a Chevy or Ford, and every house had a porch with an old bird dog sleeping by the screen door. I didn't know I was way back in the Pines Friday night kid. I was just cutting up like my dad did. Thought every boy in the world put a ring on their high school girl. For 18 years I didn't know I talked funny. Didn't know we were poor, thought we had plenty of money. Thought everybody had peace of mind and a piece of land. I didn't know I was country. Thank God I am. went to school to play ball. Cranked up some 90s McGraw. Thought everybody said grace. And everybody say y'all. That's right, y'all. I didn't know I was way back in the Pines Friday night kid. I was just cutting up like my dad did. Thought every boy in the world put a ring on their high school girl. For 18 years I didn't know I taught funny. Didn't know we were poor, thought we had plenty of money. Thought everybody had peace of mind and a piece of land. I didn't know I was country. Thank God I am. It's just the way I thought it was. Work a 40-hour week for a cold beer buzz till I hit them city limits. I didn't know no different. Didn't know I was way back in the Pines Friday night kid. I was just cutting up like my dad did. Thought every boy in the world put a ring on their high school girl. For 18 years I didn't know I taught funny. Didn't know we were poor, thought we had plenty of money. Thought everybody had peace of mind, peace of land. And if you come from a town like mine, you'd understand. I didn't know I was country. Thank God I am. Here we are. That song will be on the next record. It feels good to hear you sing. It feels good to sing. It feels good to be back here with you guys. Thank y'all for joining us. Thank y'all for being here. But I'm gonna get straight to the man of the hour, y'all. One of the best voices in country music, in my opinion. Love Me is one of the best written songs, and just one of those songs that is timeless. And as an artist and as a writer, you hope to have one or two of those. Collin happens to have about 17, 18 of them. 30 singles, comes from a musical family. We have a lot in common, but I'm not going to take any more time, y'all. Please welcome Honkytonk Tuesday, first of the year, my buddy, country music legend, Mr. Collin Raye. Come on, buddy.
Michael, how you doing, man?
I'm good, buddy. How are you doing?
Oh, that song was great.
Oh, thank you so much, man.
Outstanding, man.
That was one of the things that came out of quarantine. It was a late night face.
You have to try to make lemonade out of lemons. I've heard a lot of people have told me that they did some of their best writing in the last year just because they had nothing else to do. You know what I mean? Like,
man,
you can either try to be creative like that, or sit around like I've done a lot of and just watch TV, watch Family Feud episodes, and, just killing time like that. But if a great song came out of that, then it was worth it, man.
Man, I really appreciate it. We've been doing a lot of recording during this time and just trying to make the most out of it, the most we can. But like you said, it's hands are kind of tied on some things, but luckily we got technology to do this type of stuff and keep the music going. And my whole thought process on Honkytonk Tuesday was hopefully we can keep our family, our country music family together, keep everybody looking forward to what's coming, and take everybody their minds away a little bit from all the stuff that's going on, and they can sit with their families and listen to some good country music. So,
well, there's nothing. This sounds cliche, but it's very true. Music's one of the great healers that we were given.
Absolutely.
And it crosses a lot of barriers, it crosses a lot of boundaries. And I think live music, I think as a fan of live music myself, not just because I do it for a living, but just because I love going to see people play, whether that means a local band playing in one of the cool clubs around Nashville, or whether that means going to see an artist out on the road. You don't realize how much you miss that until it's taken away from you.
Absolutely, man. Just like you just said, man. I think a lot of people think or assume that because we're in it, It's the playing concerts, and that's the big part for us. But also the reason we got in it was because we're country music fans. And how great is it when you get to play a festival and you get to be a fan of your buddies, or you get to be a fan of somebody that inspired you, that you listen to on the radio, and you just stand side stage and for that, for their set, you're back to just being a fan. You're not having to do anything but just watch and take notes. And I miss that a lot, man. I miss getting on the bus with the guys and going out.
If you do it long enough, it starts to be, oh, this is drudgery, this is work. And then because you start, well, it's just my job. It's just my job. It's gone.
Right.
It's gone. I mean, like we played some last year. We had a handful of dates scattered around. We were pretty lucky that some of them stayed, but not many. We lost a ton. Like we lost like 85 dates.
Yeah.
And so not only did you take a big financial hit, but you realize, gosh, I didn't really fully appreciate how much I love my job.
Right. One, man, I can't echo that enough, man. Absolutely. Very grateful for the country music fans that are sticking it out with us. And can you imagine what it's going to be like when we let loose millions of country music fans to country concerts? I don't think the world's ready.
Oh, no, man. And I think they're ready. They're ready right now.
They're ready. I don't know if everybody's ready for all of us to. You can't hinge up a bunch of country people like that and expect us just to ease on back in. You know what I mean?
They're only going to put up with it so long.
Once we get that green light to go, it's going to be like Talladega.
Like we had two shows scheduled for this past weekend in Texas. One in Houston and one in Fort Worth at Billy Bob's, and it was sold. Everybody was. They were going like 60% capacity or something.
Right.
It was sold out. And then the winter storm moved in. People's pipes were busting. I mean, like you said, well, how weird is it that Texas looked like cold? I mean, I saw pictures of it in Texarkana, the town I'm from, and it looked like Juneau, Alaska, or something in the wintertime. Crazy.
Oh yeah, it looked like Michigan.
But the point is, before the storm moved in, people were coming.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's going to be full, So I think folks are ready to get out and howl a little bit.
They are, for sure. I got some people ready to hear some Collin Raye right now. These comments are blowing up. We got people from Liverpool. We got people from Michigan, people from British Columbia.
Oh, wow.
We got fans all over the world watching right now. And
Liverpool, or is it Liverpool, England?
Yes. And
well, I have to do some Beatles. A Beatles song. You want me to sing one?
Oh man, please do. One thing I do want to ask you though before you get started. One thing that we have in common is first off, I don't know if you know how many times I get asked how are we related? Just because the last
name.
Last name.
Tiny little bit of different spelling.
That one little letter changes a lot. So I tell everybody you're my dad and we're rekindling the relationship.
I will back that up.
Let's start some good rumors. Get in the press a little bit. One thing that I was reading up, man, was your family's background in music, and that's what got you in playing with the Rays, correct?
Yeah. My mom, God rest her soul, she was a really wonderful country singer, and I'm not just saying that because she was my mom. She really was good, and all our growing up, she took care of us, of course, predominantly, but on the weekends she was in a nightclub somewhere singing. And and in those days it was much easier to like sneak your kids into the club, and they weren't that strict about it,
Yeah.
Go see her and the band she was in play, and thought that was the coolest thing, And my dad also was a bass player and played in bands and whatnot. And so my brother started playing like lead guitar when he was like 6 years old. He was a big Don Rich fan, Buck Owens guitar player.
Yeah.
He could play those licks when he was that young.
Wow.
And so I just kind of was the little kid that followed him around, and thought, well, maybe one of these days I'll be able to play something, And so I really never had any desire to do anything other than play music. Hopefully make it. You always dream you're going to make it in the business, but even if not that, I just want, even if I could make a living playing bars, playing casinos, as I did years ago in the 80s and stuff.
Right.
That's all I wanted to do. When people say, what were you before? And I was like, I was nothing. This is the only thing I've ever done.
Yeah, people go, "What's your plan B?" I was like, I'm really leaning hard into plan A, man. I'm really
And that's what you have to be.
playing
So
stays and chicken back and forth.
You have to be so committed to plan A, you just refuse to lose. You know?
You ignore plan B. He pops up a lot, but yeah, I love that, man. I love reading that stuff because that's that's how my family was, and my background. That's what got me into music was but it was on my dad's side. That him and my family had that band growing up. My grandfather, big influence in that. So I love hearing about those stories, man, because that's stuff that a lot of fans don't know that they see Collin Raye on stage, they see you in the bus, they see you on TV, they hear your songs, your soundtrack to their life, but all those stepping stones to get to Collin Raye, the soundtrack of the life, the TV spots, the awards, the number ones, everything had to start somewhere, and I think a lot of people are really interested in those stories on how'd you navigate, from where you were to.
And it seemed like it took a long time for me because like I started when I was like 15, 16 playing in bars and some rough joints too, down in North Texas and Oklahoma area and Arkansas, Southwest Arkansas and stuff. But it seemed like it was taking forever to get anywhere or to even get to a point where people liked us, where people would actually, people in the club might spatter applause once in a while, and, but it took a really long time. But looking back on it, I'm really glad it took every minute that it did because people say, well, you're really good. You're natural on stage. It's like, well, I should be.
Yeah,
I better be because this
absolutely
6 nights a week since I was a kid, since I was still in high school, so you better be getting good at that point, or you're in the wrong job, but
right.
I'm glad for all the dues. And I think when young people come up to me at shows or meet and greets and stuff, and they'll say, well, I won this talent show and I feel like I want to do this. Do you have any advice? I say, well, are you in a band? And they usually say, no. I said, well, get in a band as fast as you can.
Absolutely.
Get a band with older players who know more about music than you do, and you learn from them. And then that band's going to break up at some point.
Yep.
Then get in another band. Because that's where you learn. Because I mean, ultimately, I always wanted to be in a band. I wanted to make it in the music scene as a part of a group like the Eagles or something. That's what my brother and I. That's what our goal was, just to have a harmony band where you had multiple lead singers and it didn't work out that way. I woke up one day and it was basically just me. It was the only one left. So we decided, well, okay, we'll try this as a solo thing, and it worked out. But being in a band is vital, I think.
It really is, man. I mean, that was some of the first advice I got in Nashville. I was playing acoustic all around Central Florida and different areas and saving money coming to Nashville to do demos and stuff. And then it was David Preston at BMI that was like, go put a band together and start playing all those festivals as much as you can. And I couldn't agree with you more, man. Those days are so crucial for anybody watching that wants to get into the music business on the entertainment side. From the man who start a band, that's exactly you got to do. You got to jump in on it.
Yeah, I remember little simple things that I'm sure a lot of folks won't know what I'm talking about. But like because when I was learning I started out as a bass player.
Oh, okay.
I said, okay, this song is in C, and then it goes to the F, then it goes to the G, and then it might have a D in it, and it's back to the C. And then all of a sudden we were playing with this country singer down in Texarkana, and he started doing the number. He'd call out a song, and we're like, we don't know that. He'd go, just follow my hand. I'm like, what? So he started doing this, and he'd be singing, and he'd be doing five. And I'm, what the heck's he doing? But that's how I learned the number system. So that you can literally follow
into it.
Song you don't know just by watching her hand,
Yeah.
And I would have never learned that otherwise. And then
right.
When I did get to Nashville, I would have looked foolish if I was in the studio with these caliber of musicians, and I can't at least semi talk about them on a semi-intelligent level.
Yeah.
You learn a lot in those bars.
What's that?
You learn a lot in those bars.
You do, man. They're very crucial. They're crucial. They're days that I don't know how much I want to go back to 4 nights a week, 4 hours a day, but there are days where I do miss those times. I do. But man, we got people wanting to hear Love Me, One Boy, One Girl. Okay. But it is all up to you, brother. Whatever you feel like kicking us off with, floor is yours.
how about this one? I'll start with this one, but I definitely will try to get. Depending on how much time you when you go like this, I'll know I'm done.
When you see a shepherd's hook, grab me from the neck. You gotta go.
Okay. Well, I know I disappeared a time or two, and along the way I lost me and you. I needed a new town for my new start. Selling VCRs in Arkansas at a Walmart. I haven't had a drink in 19 days. My eyes are clear and bright without that haze. I like the preacher from the Church of Christ. Sorry that I cried when I talked to you last night, but I think I'm on a roll here in Little Rock. I'm solid as a stone, baby, waiting. I got just one small problem here in Little Rock. Oh, without you, baby, I'm not me. I don't know why I held it all inside. You must have thought I'd never even tried. You know, your daddy told me when I left, he said, Jesus would forgive, but if daddy don't forget. And I think I'm on a road here in Little Rock. I am solid as a stone, baby, waiting to see. I got just one small problem here in Little Rock. Girl, without you, baby, I'm not lying here upon this motel bed. My thoughts of you explode inside my head. And like a castle built upon the sand, I let love crumble in my hand. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, but I think I'm on a road here in Little Rock. I'm solid as a stone, baby, waiting to see. I got just one small problem here in Little Rock. Without you, baby, I'm not me. No, without you, baby, I'm not me. But I think I'm on a road here in Little Rock.
Come on, man. It don't get better than that. Let's go. Wow.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so here, man, songs like that is what made me fall in love with country music. Those lyrics, those story songs that I feel like we don't have enough of anymore. You know, and those ones that really grab you. When you were making records, was that something you had in your mind, like, hey, these are the type of songs I'm looking for, or did these type of songs and this just kind of come to you, or was it what was the mindset? Because you have so many songs, man. I mean this when we talk about it. You have so many songs, like I said earlier, that we hope to have a few of them, maybe one. And you have.
I was very blessed. I started out, as you know, that first album, you're kind of like, I'll sing the phone book if that's what you guys want, because I was just so happy to have a major record deal.
100%.
And so I had some input, but I really put the full trust in my producer, Jerry Fuller and John Hobbs, my two producers, because they'd done this before and they knew what they were doing. And so we were lucky, very lucky, to get a song like Love Me out of the gate, because I remember when Troy Tomlinson pitched us that song, my producer Jerry Fuller and I were on a song hunt. We were going around to the different houses, and they would play the songs, and everyone had heard my demo. So they were very receptive and they thought I sang well, but they're always hesitant to give you that killer song because they're saving it for Vince or they're saving it for Garth, or, And so when we were literally about to leave the meeting, we stood up and we heard some good songs that day. And he goes, sit back down. I got this one song I wasn't going to play you today, but I could just tell he liked me,
Right.
Tomlinson liked me, and he played us Skip Ewing, who co-wrote Love Me, him and Max Mars, and Skip was doing the demo. And so me and Jerry looked at each other like, okay, we can have this? You guys are cool with that? We got this. And so again, though, I still didn't know it was a hit. I just knew it was a great song because I was a novice. I didn't know what a hit,
Yeah.
I knew what I liked, but we got that one. And then, as to answer your question, as the albums went by the time I got to say my third album, I kind of felt like I could dig in a little deeper, and I was starting to hear some, songs by like Tom Douglas, who wrote Little Rock,
one of the best,
Gary Burr and Hugh Presley, and I'd established myself enough to where they were pitching me their best stuff because they liked my voice and they thought we want a Collin Raye cut, So I started getting just better songs in general, and then it became a conscious decision. I was like, because if you look at my third album, we had That's My Story and I'm Sticking to It. We had My Kind of Girl. We had some lighthearted, fun rock and stuff. But I knew I could get away with cutting songs at that point. I felt like I could, like Little Rock or Man of My Word and some deeper songs like that, And so from that, and then by the time we got to that I Think About You album, I was definitely I was looking for songs like that.
Yeah. And
people and writers were writing them for me because they thought, well, he likes this kind of stuff with a heavy, deep lyric like that. And so let's pitch it to him because I can't remember Karen Taylor Good one time, great writer. She wrote really Not That Different for me, which was a number one song. But there was another song she pitched me called The 11th Commandment. It was about child abuse. And we tried to cut it on one album and it just didn't work. It got dropped off. And so it was about you're doing an album a year. So it was going to be like another year. And I remember talking to her. I said, I'm so sorry we didn't get 11th Commandment cut. Will you let me still? She goes, well, you can still have it on hold. And I'm like, are you serious? She goes, yeah, because nobody else is going to cut it. But so I took that as a great compliment,
Absolutely.
And so the next album we did get it cut, But anyway, the writers were always really good to me and went out of their way to give me good stuff. So that's what I live off of today is those great songs.
A lot of people don't know how musical songwriters are, man. They're the best in the world. And when like you said, once you start, I'm recording album number 3 now, so I know exactly what you mean. If you see that growth from the past two records, you know what you want to keep doing, you know what you wish you wouldn't have done, and then and then the third album. And I feel like as you grow, people start realizing, okay, like you said, here's Collin Raye's sound, and now all of a sudden, when a pitch sheet pops up and Collin Raye's looking for songs. Now Tom Douglas and all these guys get together and they go, we know exactly what we got to, we know exactly what we're going to write. And it's a really cool thing, man, because, but then how many days a week or a year you think you were on the road then?
Oh, boy. In those days, 200, 250 maybe.
Wow.
Which is a lot. It's 365 days a year. We weren't home a lot, and what a great time that was. Country music, the 90s was, I'm so thankful that I made it when I made it, because that was country music kind of became it was the mainstream pop music of America. Therefore, we were selling more records than most pop acts were.
Oh yeah.
Level, and I give Garth a lot of credit for that because he kind of bashed down a lot of walls there, and just brought a lot of attention to the rest of us that we might not have gotten otherwise, But it was a great time. That the shows were always sold out. and we were turning down dates.
Yeah.
We couldn't do them all. We couldn't say yes to everything, and it was a great time. And like I said, at the time, it was like wearing me out. But boy, I would trade it for last year in a heartbeat. So let's do it again. I don't care how old I am. We'll do it again.
Sure, I'll do 200 now. Right now. We'll do it right now. Was there anybody in those early years, man, you were talking about, I got very fortunate and lucky. My first song went #1 as well. And I remember getting those first tour offers and like my mind blown of like, Darius Rucker's going to take us out on tour with him. Brantley Gilbert's going to take us out on tour. Kip Moore was taking us out. And who was that for you during that time? What was like your first tour where you were like, boys, we're on our way?
Yeah, so the difference, we're not in Kansas anymore.
Yeah.
Three actually, I remember the most. The first one was Kenny Rogers.
Wow.
Kenny did a tour and requested, him and his manager, Ken Corrigan, requested me.
That's awesome.
And I got to know Kenny, and because that's the way he was. That's the way Kenny was. It was like if he likes you, he let the world know he likes you. And then Alabama, I did quite a few dates with Alabama, and I love those guys.
Me too.
Love them. And the thing about Randy Owen and Teddy Gentry, they always tried to, and Kenny Rogers did this too. That it was never like, okay, now you're opening for us, but don't use our set. Because I was pretty active back then. I was running all over the stage and everything. He says, no, don't go up the ramp. Because I've worked with people who said, now don't use the ramps. Those are for him. Don't, you just stand in one spot and do your thing. They were always like, no, you do. I want you to do whatever it is you do because that'll just make us have to work harder to put on a better show. And I loved that. And so when I got to where I was headlining and whatnot, and it would get young acts opening for me, I told them the same thing. I said, oh, man, because they'd asked. They'd say, okay, if we use your set. And I said, do whatever. You stand on the piano if you want.
Yeah.
Put on a good show because that's what we're here to do. Because it's all about Alabama and Kenny Rogers taught me. It's all about the folks in the seats.
That's it, man. It's all about the fans.
It's all about them. And one other tour I did that was definitely a make the hair on the back of your neck stand up was George Strait. I did a lot of George Strait dates.
I'd have loved to have seen those dates, man.
Yeah. And of course, so now all of a sudden I'm in an arena.
Yeah.
Playing in a 20,000 seat arena that's packed because he's there. And so I got to play for, all of a sudden you're playing for a lot more people than you have ever played for before.
Oh, yeah.
It was awesome.
All of a sudden, you're like, I can't wear the same britches all weekend. We played in front of too many people. Darius, man, to echo what you said, man, Darius and Brantley, all those guys I got to tour, man, it was the same thing. And it really gave you the confidence as a new guy to go up whenever your headliner goes, hey, dude, go give them hell, man. Go do your thing. Yeah. And if give them all you got, because that makes me have to do that even, you're not going to – it makes me want to be better and work harder, and it just makes the whole tour better. And it was just it really does. Man. What's funny is I believe that the vibe of the concert starts in two places. It starts in the parking lot with the fans, and it starts backstage with all of us. And that backstage camaraderie, man, it's so important, and it's so cool, man. And it makes a lot of sense when you were talking about that with Alabama and Kenny Rogers and those guys, man, because I've got to know Alabama real well. I've met Kenny. I had the honor of meeting Kenny a couple times, and we all miss him and miss his voice down here. And he was always such a sweet guy every time I talked to him or got to see him in the halls of Warner. So,
oh man, he did a quick little Kenny Rogers because I mean I'm 60 years old now, so I was born in 1960. So I was around listening to the radio and aware of what was on the radio when Kenny Rogers in the first edition.
Oh yeah,
ready to do Ruby, Don't Take Your Love to Town. Oh, yeah. Something's Burning.
Yeah,
he stopped in to see what condition my condition was in. So I mean, and he was on television all the time in the 60s and early 70s. Then he had that huge rebirth in the 70s with Lucille and The Gambler and all that. International pop star. So there, all of a sudden, there I am, and he's hanging out with me. And it's like, wow, I can't believe it. And he's so kind. He was so kind, always so kind. One of the coolest things I ever got to do is he was inducted, went to New York City to this, it was like a New York City Songwriters Hall of Fame something. I remember Bruce Springsteen was inducted that night. Billy Joel was there and inducted him. So people like that were in the scene, right? And Kenny was being given a Lifetime Achievement Award. Not that he was really much of a he wrote per se. He wrote a little, but not a lot. But because he had made so much money for songwriters.
Yeah.
That's what it amounted to. So they were going to give him this special award.
Yeah.
And they said, and I remember Naomi Judd, bless her heart, she was the host of the show, and any artist being inducted could ask who they wanted to induct them, and Kenny chose me, and it blew me away.
Wow, that's awesome, man.
Me and him and Ken Cragen are hanging out, and so when it came his time to do it, he was going to do a couple songs too, but I got up and did. I think I did Lucille and The Gambler and maybe Ruby, and then I gave a little speech and inducted him, and I was like, wow, I'm not. It's like in Waynesboro, I'm not worthy. but things like that meant more to me than any trophy or. Because a legendary, iconic guy that I'd admired my entire life chose me to go to New York and do that with.
That's man. That's got to be one of those moments, man, when you're standing up there going, "How did we get here? How did all the navigations?"
You just look up. Thank you, Lord. Thank you for this. I'm not forgetting this one.
I owe you.
Yeah. Oh boy, do I ever. And there was other moments like that as well. But just those kind of, and you appreciate them at the time, but looking back on them, you appreciate it all the more.
Absolutely, man.
Because I can't believe I got to do that.
Yeah. Such a huge honor. That's awesome. Man, what a great story. Thanks for sharing that with everybody, man. Everybody's talking about it right now.
Oh, that's cool, man. I miss Kenny Rogers, man. He's a good dude.
Me too, man. Me too. So to move on, what do you say was maybe one of your favorite singles you had? Because like you said earlier, you had "That's My Story," fun. Fun. Yeah, when we were at Cahoots together, me, you, and Jeff Carson, and it was me, you, Jeff.
Who else?
Greg Campbell.
T. Graham was there. Right?
Yeah. T. Graham was on it, and we got up and just played Haggard and Johnny Cash songs for I don't even know how long we were up there.
Oh, I could do that. I could do that for a week.
I warn people when they start playing those songs, you want to see me watch the sun come up. Play me some of that stuff. Play me some Little Rock and some Love Me. Right there. I'll be up. I'll be up playing and singing them all night long, man. I love it.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for that comparison. To me, it's like Merle Haggard. Merle Haggard is. I've got a song idea in my head, but I still haven't written it yet. You can have it if you want. But it's like I always thought, if it weren't for Merle Haggard, we'd all be home by now. a bar room. It's a bar room. So when you think about it, one guy's catalog,
man,
that if you say, okay, we're going to do 5 sets, 5-hour long sets in this bar tonight. Let's challenge yourself and say we're going to do nothing but Merle Haggard songs all night. Never repeat one of them. That's the only artist I can think of you could do that with.
I agree, and it's still that way today.
I know everybody's still doing it.
Songs are still being played today, man, and that he's my dad's favorite, one of my grandpa's favorites, and that was my.
And we know all those songs.
Oh yeah, I mean the blue collar poet, man, the guy that wrote just his life, and it connected in a way, and the way that he sang and played was just like nobody else, and there'll never be another. There's a reason why. I'm just glad that we all got to be. God decided to put us in the same time period as Merle Haggard and that whole crew of artists. Man, what a great time of music.
Oh yeah, I mean it's just and again, by the time I came around, I got in at the tail end of that where I never met Merle Haggard. I passed him in the hallway one time, and he did the whole cell phone thing, like I'm acting like he's acting like he was on the cell phone, so he wouldn't talk to me. So I never got to talk to him, never got to meet him, but just walking past him was enough, But all my other heroes from that I grew up on, I did get to know a little bit. Knew George Jones pretty well. Wow. Buck was a great guy.
Buck, that's incredible.
Waylon was wonderful, and they always treated you like an equal, even though I was not an equal. They always treated me like that, It was magical time. Got to be around Johnny Cash a little bit, But just I was so honored because I knew that was the great generation of country artists. I mean, they're just nothing's going to ever come close to that.
There's this honesty with them once they became themselves and stepped out. Once Willie went to Austin and called Waylon,
yep,
it changed.
It was over. I mean, it changed everything. Didn't just change country music, changed music.
Changed music. And Johnny Cash is just as much an influence to heavy metal guys as he is guys like you and I. You know,
he's Cash is the only artist that's in the Country Music Hall of Fame, the Bluegrass Music Hall of Fame, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the Gospel Music Hall of Fame.
Wow, I did not know that.
Same guy. I think he's the only one. That's amazing.
That is amazing. That, man, you're right. What we're going to do, we're going to get a date together. We're going to write that song, and I'm going to need way more of these stories.
I got a million of them.
I love this stuff, but this is my favorite thing. We got. I'm reading a comment here. Kenny Dunaway, getting married in October, and my bride is walking down the aisle to One Boy, One Girl.
Oh, do you want me to sing that for him?
I think it's going to help Kenny with some brownie points.
Oh, man, I'll do it.
If we get you to sing it live.
So this is for Kenny and his bride.
Kenny and his bride in October.
Okay. He finally gave in. You notice I had to wait for a second to think, what's the first line of this? That's because I've been off work too long.
Right. I've never been more nervous about a show coming up. I'm playing in my hometown, and I haven't played a show in a year. I've been studying lyrics like a test.
I know. Okay, I'll try. Kenny, I'll do better this time. He finally gave in to his friend's girlfriend when she said there's someone you should meet. At a crowded restaurant way across town, he waited impatiently. When she walked in, their eyes met, and they both stared. And right there and then, everyone else disappeared. But one boy, one girl, two hearts beating wildly. To put it mildly, it was love at first sight. She smiled, baby, right away. This was the day they'd waited for all their lives. And for a moment the whole world revolved around one boy and one girl. No time at all, they were standing there in the front of the little church, among their friends and family, repeating those sacred words. The preacher said, son, kiss your bride. And he raised her veil, like the night they met, time just stood still. For one boy, one girl, two hearts beating wildly. To put it mildly, it was love at first sight. She smiled, and baby, right away. This was the day they waited for all their lives. And for a moment, the whole world revolved around one boy and one girl. He was holding her hand when the doctor looked up and grinned. He said, congratulations, twins. One boy, one girl, two hearts beating wildly. To put it mildly, it was love at first sight. Yeah. He smiled, oh, she smiled, baby, right away. This was the day they waited for all their lives. And for a moment, the whole world walk around one boy and one girl. Da, 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 da. As for Kenny's bride, bless you guys.
That is incredible. What?
Congratulations and good luck to you guys.
The way they wrote that, to come back at the end and go, congratulations, twins. One boy, one girl, still to this day hits me every time. It's what a great written song, and one of those.
By the time that song came around, unlike what I was talking about earlier, I had figured out what a hit song was. I knew at that point. And remember, Shay Smith met me over at a hotel lobby and played that for me. And I was loving the song. I thought, oh, this is great. But when it got to that bridge, the twins, I thought, oh man, that's just number one song.
Yeah, go ahead. We'll cut that right now. We'll just go ahead and head on to the studio. Yeah,
we got right to it, and I just knew. I think songs like that and Love Me, songs about lifelong love, and in the case of Love Me, after the grave love, things like that, it resonates with so many people because I mean that's what the goal is. That's what everybody's hoping for.
We've all been through it. So I think that's why those songs still echo. My brother CJ said, "Still got them pipes."
Oh, thank you. That's nice to hear. Thank you so much. It's funny though because it's like I've gotten so used to singing with sound reinforcement. When you got monitors, got those earbuds, those ear monitors. And I'm a tenor, so I like it. My ear, if you listen to my ear mix on stage, it'd probably part your hair. It's like it's just it's really bright because that's what I need. And, and so you get so used to leaning on that kind of sound that when you just sing in a room like this, it's harder.
Well, brother, you sound incredible, and I don't know how you're making that guitar sound like a fiddle as well, but.
Well, I'm not as good a guitar player as you.
No, whatever.
I always bring my trusty fiddle player with me. She's over here in the corner, and the thing is, she had to back off the ways because, as you know, as little and light as a fiddle is, it's a very loud instrument.
And I'd hate to see you get knocked out by an elbow. You know what I mean?
So she's kind of hiding in the corner.
Hey, well, tell her she sounds incredible.
My guitar playing, I'm a good strummer. I'm a good banger. But I'm not a great finger picker. And when it comes to like playing the signature licks to Little Rock or One Boy, One Girl, I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm just a banger,
Hey, I'm with you, man. I'm very grateful for my band in a lot of ways. Man, what else has been going on, man? Have anything else in during the 2020 crazy year? Anything?
Well, got a new album. We did a new album. We started it before the pandemic stuff happened. And we're almost done with it at that time. And it's called Scars. And BFD Audio asked me to do an Americana record. And I thought, well, this is kind of cool because so many artists that I love and admire have drifted to that, doing Americana records, Right. And I thought, this will be fun. And to me, Americana just means no rules. You can
absolutely
use the style you want, So I thought that'd be a fun record. And we made a really good album. I'm real proud of it. And I wrote everything on it. With the exception of 2 that my brother wrote. And then he and I wrote some things together on it as well. So it's a really, really personal record. And the title song, Scars, my brother wrote many years ago. And he'd worked with Miranda forever. Since Miranda Lambert began, he was her original band. It was just
okay.
That's how they started, playing around Dallas and Austin and stuff. In the listening rooms, and so he was with her, had been with her the whole time, and she'd always loved that song, and had threatened to record it 2 or 3 times, but she never got around to doing it, So when this album project came to be, I thought, well, Scotty, I'm doing it, man. I'm cutting this song. So Miranda was cool enough to sing on the record with me and sang harmony with me all the way through it, and that really made it extra special. She's such a great singer and just.
Oh man,
cool gal, man.
So Miranda singing harmony on Scars, the title track. Wow. You want to know something crazy? Is my first album I ever put to get made. My buddy, I wrote some songs. A couple of my cousins wrote some songs with my buddy Jeff Hurst, who is a buddy of mine down home, incredible songwriter, guy that got me into coming to Nashville, teaching me the studios, and got me meeting a lot of the guys that he knew. That album was called Scars, and I wrote a song called Scars for my grandfather. I swear, I was like 18 years old.
Wow. Wow, I'd love to hear it.
That's incredible. Well, I don't know how much you'd love to hear it now. I've gotten better in the last 10 years, man. I'll be honest with you.
Oh, but no, I'm real happy with the new album. It's just good to have an album of new material because the last 10 years, every time I make albums, but they're usually tributes. I did a tribute to Glenn Campbell a few years ago called Still on the Line, which I loved that record. It was such a blast to do that. I recut all my hits a couple of years back, 25 years, 25 hits and all that. And just I did a love songs. Label asked me to do a album of classic love songs a few years back. So anyway, I haven't done anything of brand new material in 10 years. And so it was pretty cool to do it. And the assignment was write everything yourself, which no one had ever told me to do that before.
Yeah.
So I'm really proud of it.
When's it?
What's out? It's been out
right now. So it's out.
It was November of last year is when I think it was when it first came out.
On all platforms where everybody gets their music.
Yeah, man.
Y'all make sure to go stream that album, go buy it, go get it on iTunes and crank it and listen to some new Collin Raye songs. And man, we got about time for one more before this thing kicks us off here. And I'm leaving it up to you, buddy. Play something new, play something, whatever you feel like, man. I'm just honored that you came on here and did this, man. I kind
of want to play Scars because we were just talking about it. But if it's my last one, I know folks requested Love Me, and so
I'm looking at the clock. I think we can fit 2. Let's do it. Come on. Let's get some new Collin Raye on here. It's 2021. We survived 2020. Let's go.
We'll speed it up so it'll go faster. Some are deep, some are not. Some never hurt at all. Some hurt a lot. Some are there from our mistakes. And are all that's left to show the choices that we've made. Even the ones too small to notice, they're to remind us who we are. And even if the world could look inside us, it still might miss the blemish on our hearts from these scars. I've got mine, and you got yours, and we've lived enough to know not to hide them anymore, 'cause we've had time, and time can heal. It can change the way we look. It can change the way we feel. I understand as well as you do how sometimes a touch can go too far. And love was never meant to be that easy. And it don't just disappear in the dark with these scars. But the pain that I remember is the pain that makes me stronger. I've had to look at life that way, and I've learned to rise above it, to keep from going under. Take it step by step, day by day. And I'm not ashamed of what you see, 'cause every single scar has become a part of me. All I know is here and now. Yesterday's gone, and we've made it through somehow. Looking back, I'm glad I took my chances. they were worth at least enough to leave a mark. And baby, I'm not sure where we're going, but it means a lot to know where we'll start with these scars. These scars. Oh, thank you for letting me get that one in.
Man, that's beautiful, man.
Thank you. You want me? Do you got time for maybe a verse and a chorus of Love Me?
I think we got time for the whole thing. If you want to take us on home with it.
Okay, man. I read a note my grandma wrote back in 1923. Grandpa kept it in his coat, and he showed it once to me. He said, boy, you might not understand, but a long, long time ago, Grandma's daddy didn't like me none, but I loved your grandma so. We had this crazy plan to meet and run away together, getting married in the first town we came to live forever. But nailed to the tree where we were supposed to meet instead, I found this letter, and this is what it said. If you get there before I do, don't give up on me. I'll meet you when my chores are through. Oh, I don't know how long I'll be here, but I'm not gonna let you down. Darling, wait and see. Between now and then, till I see you again, I'll be loving you. Love me. I read those words just hours before my grandma passed away, in the doorway of a church where me and Grandpa stopped to pray. I know I'd never seen him cry in all my 15 years, but as he said these words to her, his eyes filled up with tears. And if you get there before I do, don't give up on me. I'll meet you when my chores are through. Oh, I don't know how long I'll be here, but I'm not gonna let you down. Darling, wait and see. Between now and then, till I see you again, I'll be loving you. Love me. Oh, yeah, between now and then, till I see you again, I'll be loving you. Love me. Shauna Larkin on the fiddle down there.
Come on. Woo!
Caroline Fields making sure we could do this because I'm so technically illiterate, I would have never been able to do this without her. Thank you, brother.
Hey, buddy, thank you so much, man. It means the world to me. Let's get together and hang out and write that song. I got it wrote down on my phone, so I write it with I
I've been
appreciate
holding on to that idea for a long time, but I think we'd have a lot of fun writing it.
I would love to do it, man. Take it easy, buddy. Be safe, and we'll see you soon. Thank you.
God bless you, God bless everybody out there. Thank y'all for tuning in. See you out on the road.
See you guys. Thank y'all for tuning in to Honkytonk Tuesday. Stay tuned. We got another one coming up. We'll be announcing soon. Love you guys. Be safe. See you this Sunday in Eustis, Florida. George Fest free show. Thank you, Collin. Love you, buddy.
Man, it's gonna be fun. I wish I was gonna be down there with you. Take care.
I see you, buddy. Thank y'all so much for everything, man. What a great kickoff of Honkytonk Tuesday. Seconds are counting down. But don't forget, this Sunday, free show, Eustis, Florida, Farron Park. I will see y'all there.